Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all having a good day. The headlines are out. And before people start losing their minds and fear-mongering, so the president has been working with Theresa May, Emmanuel Macron, and a bunch of leaders from Europe to put pressure on Vladimir Putin concerning the poisoning of this ex-spy. All right. I've been posting about this for a few days, and I want to just address a couple of things. Number one, some people are saying that there is no evidence that it was actually Russia that did the poisoning. Okay. The first thing I want to say is that may be true, but it is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. And some people they're just not going to understand this, but it doesn't matter who did the poisoning. And some people are just going to, say that, well, this is injustice, this is unfair, there's no evidence that Russia did the poisoning. Okay, well, that's fine. You can rail and scream about that all you want. It does not matter who did the poisoning. What matters is the perception. What matters is what world leaders believe about the poisoning. And the world leaders believe that Putin did the poisoning, and they're acting on that belief. So what matters is the actions that world leaders are taking. Now, if Putin Russia's not guilty of the poisoning, that's unfortunate. And I'm not even going to argue that. That's not the point. The point is Trump and European leaders are using it as leverage to get Putin to hold him accountable for something. Okay? And that's all that matters. And here's the second point. This is not about war. It is about peace. People are already going into this fear-mongering mode, and they're assuming that Trump is getting rid of diplomats. Trump closed down the Russian consulate in Seattle, expelled 60 Russian diplomats. European leaders are expelling Russian diplomats, and now the fearmongers are going to tell you they're preparing for war. We're going to go to war with Russia. It's World War III. It's coming. Trump has been waiting to wage war, and now he's got a reason to start a war. Absolutely not going to happen. Isn't going to happen. Look, you have to look back at what Trump has done previously to see what he's going to do in the future. And he did something very similar with China as a way to get Xi Jinping to arrange peace talks with North Korea. All right, and I've written about this in my recent articles. Q told us Iran is next. After Trump leveraged Xi Jinping into peace talks with Kim Jong-un by economic sanctions, by trade, talk about this trade war and all the other things, Trump progressively made things more and more difficult for Xi Jinping. And Trump's goal was to get President Xi to arrange peace talks with Kim Jong-un to rein in North Korea. He did it by making President Xi uncomfortable. And that is what Trump is doing with Putin. Trump's goal is to make Putin uncomfortable, to hold him accountable, to put him into a leveraged position where Trump can then go to Putin and say, okay, look, this is what I want. I want you to talk to Iran and Syria, and we're going to go to the peace talks, and we're going to negotiate peace. That is what this is all about. Trump is always working toward an end game that is not usually obvious. You look at what he's doing, look at the news headlines, and the reporters always miss the strategy. They always miss his goal. They just don't understand what Trump is all about. I guarantee you what you're going to see in the next 3 or 4 months, as this continues, Trump is building a coalition of nations, of NATO nations, and their goal is to get Putin to rein in Iran and Syria. And he's doing it by leveraging and using his alliances, and he's going to hold Putin accountable. And whether, like I said, whether or not Russia did the poisoning is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It's not the point. The point is, Trump is going to use that, the perception that Russia did it. He's using the perception to put Putin into a corner, to isolate him, to force him to come to the peace talks. That's what this is all about, and nothing else. So, as you're on Twitter and as you're on Periscope and people are talking about Trump is trying to get us into a war with Russia and that we're trying to frame Russia for something that they didn't do, just realize Trump has a completely different agenda. It's all about getting Iran and Syria to create peace in the Middle East. And he is smart enough that he will make this thing come to pass. So, don't stress. Don't freak out about it. It's all good. That is my message. I'm going to jump off of here. I got stuff I got to get done. Got to record some other messages. Love you guys. Take care. Keep the president in prayer. And I'll catch you on the next broadcast.